Welcome to Porch Conversations, where the conversation is flowing and the light is on. You guys, things have changed considerably. Obviously, I am not on a porch anymore. I'm in New York City. There are too many things to get into. And honestly, this video is not going to be nearly as structured as my last couple of videos. In fact, this one is sort of going to be like an amalgamation of different thoughts that I have compiled over the past couple of months since I haven't been able to talk to you guys. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the leaf blower in the back. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. So anyway, let's get a couple things out of the way. First of all, I'm pretty sure I did delete those last videos, but any video of me talking about a boyfriend, nix that from your memory. It didn't happen, all right? What I want to say is that when I introduce people to this channel and I say, you know, my name is Asha, I have a YouTube channel, it's called Porch Conversations. I talk about dating, music, and movies. Dating is one of the most pivotal parts of the channel because that's how I started my channel and because it's what I feel like I have the most to talk about. Having the most to talk about does not always mean that I am an expert. I speak a lot about what is my lived experience, and I still have a lot of learning to do. I have a lot of learning to do, basically. And so as far as the dating conversations, it's not so much that they're going to change, but I do think that perhaps the topics might adjust. I think that a lot of it may be more focused on self-reflection, and I think that would be good for those that are more interested in that part of their life, especially in your early 30s, late 20s. I recently started getting into drinking coffee. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I have my notebook as usual, but what I do, I'm not going to skip. I'm going to go in order. Something that I do want to say so far as dating, since we're going to start getting into this, the different sections. Hold on, let me put a little dating. Now that we're talking about dating, something that I do want to say is this is something that has been spoken about on the internet before, but not speaking declaratively. Like, this is my person, this is my husband, this, that, and third. Let them prove it first before you declare to the world, I'm in love with this person, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them, because you very may well be wrong. And that can be embarrassing. That said, I'm not easily embarrassed. Like I said, I don't even remember that man's name for real. So if you guys don't have proof of it happening, it never really happened. That said, you know, like I said, there's still lessons to learn, and that's where I am. And so, like when I first started this channel, I was purposefully single, but that is, my boundaries are much stronger now, and I think that's something I will be talking about later. But that said, I wanted to make a video a couple of months ago, actually, just to sit and talk to you guys, because especially when it comes to music, there have been so many different things that I've wanted to talk to you guys about, like especially videos. And maybe if there's someone that's like technologically inclined, you guys can give me a little bit of like a little bit of tips or support with this. But I'm trying to figure out, like, how do people without a big following post about music without getting copyrighted, striked, or like posting clips of the music video? Because I know I can't post sound, because there's this one idea that I have, like there are music videos that are like intrinsic to me and like that make me who I am, but I don't know how to go about posting that. But specifically when it comes to music, emo, pop, punk, bro, Nickelback, Paramore, Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil, Yellow Card, fucking Mr. Brightside, The Killers, Panic at the Disco, like all of the, I loved a lot of Fall Out Boy, man. All of these I loved when I was younger, when I was like, oh, don't be looking at my feet. I forgot you guys are freaks. I used to listen, for those that are like 90s babies, I used to have, I don't know what it was called, like not Optimum, because that's what we have now, but it was channel 188, and I used to watch VH1 music videos day in and day out, and it would just have 24-hour music videos. And I remember The Fray, Fall Out Boy, Paramore, fucking Chris Brown, like all of them. It was a variety of music, and like that is a good part of the reason why I have such diverse music taste. And like I really love music and I appreciate it, and I want to share it with people, but specifically when it comes to like emo, pop punk and stuff like that, like I was listening to Sleeping with Sirens and Pierce the Veil heavy when I graduated in 2012. And so in 2025, I remember one day I was working at a doggy daycare, and I just remembered, I think it was If You Can't Hang by Sleeping with Sirens, and I put it on, and immediately I was just rocking out. I was like, oh fuck, like I remember all the words, like it was crazy. And I think what had sparked that memory was So Far So Fake by Pierce the Veil. They just released a new song last year, and I was just like, oh shit, like it's so cute. It's so cute to think about it, because it's like, you know, we grew up with these people. And I was talking about it with my friend the other day, because especially as a Black person living in New York City, maybe not so much New York City, but perhaps different areas, you know what I mean? Like if you're living in the Bronx or you're living in Brooklyn, like if you're listening to music like that, like you may get a side eye, you may. Now in Atlanta, absolutely, niggas are gonna look at you funny. I came across maybe one or two people that were familiar with the music that I was playing. That said, I'm appreciative of my diverse music taste. But it was just so amazing to come back to that music with new ears, because when we were listening to it as teenagers, oh, we're so angsty. It's modern day Nirvana type shit, where we're experiencing everything that he's saying in ways that we couldn't verbalize ourselves. But now I'm in my early 30s, and there's shit that he's saying, like, fuck, what's the song? He said, what's so good about picking up the pieces? What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to? Nigga, yeah. For real. Like, what is so good about picking up the pieces? What if I don't want shit to do with you? Like, there is so much within this relationship, and not just romantic, but there was so much within this relationship. Now, I can't even look at you the same. What's so good about picking up the pieces? What if I don't want to? Anyway, I've been listening to them heavy. I actually made a playlist. I'm gonna attach it here. It's called Teen Feels. I think it's like 7 hours now, but it's got Yellow Card, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, Paramore. This was actually a super fun game for me to play with one of my exes, but whenever we would listen to the song, because there are so many different playlists, or because there are so many different artists on there. However, I will say, you could win real easily by guessing Paramore, because at least 2 of her albums are on there. Haley, I love you. Anyway, before the song ends, you gotta guess what the next song is, or you gotta guess what the next artist is. Anyway, I've been getting heavy into hip hop, and that's Gambino is that nigga. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, Gambino is that nigga for real. K-Dot, everybody knows. You feel me? And that's a conversation that I'm gonna talk about as well, because around the same time that I graduated high school, I was listening to Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil, and Gambino. And Gambino, also Pentatonics. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying now if I talk about it, but fucking, oh my God, the tall blonde one, I can't think of his name. I'll put a picture of him. I can't think of his name now, but he posted this video on TikTok. Him and his husband are having a baby girl. I literally cried. I was bawling my eyes out. And like, that's so pivotal to me too, because it's like, it's the same way where it's like, I'm looking at these people that have won American Idol and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of them. I don't know these people. They don't know me. But it's just like, they're achieving their dreams. So it's like, I watched Pentatonics on whatever show it was, where I think it was the Sing Off, where there was a cappella, and they ended up winning. And then they ended up being at the very end of like, what was it called? That movie with the Pitch Perfect 2. They ended up being at the very end of Pitch Perfect 2. And then right before I moved to California, which was in 2017, Scott Hoying and Mitch, they made their own group called Superfruit. I'm gonna do my best with the editing, you guys. They made their own group called Superfruit. And they had this one song called Bad for Us, and I fucked with that song so heavy. That was my shit. Like, that was my theme song moving into California. So then anyway, they released that album and then sort of like just dropped off the radar, and I feel like they kind of got back into Pentatonics, but were also sort of doing their own thing. Mitch got married, Scott got married, and like I said, Scott is now having a baby. Woo! And I love babies. I love babies, you guys. Oh, I can't wait to have my next one. Anyway, as far as film and literature, hey, I don't know if I've told you guys, but I'm a writer. And actually, you know what? I want to say thank you to the one person that was interacting with me when I posted that last video and I said, hey, I'm on an indefinite hiatus. It was like 2 weeks, maybe, less than. But so since I posted that video, but someone was like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book, guys. And when I say I'm writing a book, like, I've already written 2. I've submitted one, by the way. I'm waiting to hear from them. Airly Sundress. Hey, it's only a matter of time, right? I submitted my book, Sonder, of poetry. It's a compilation of poetry to Airly Publications. And then I also have this other book, If Only You Knew, a compilation of poetry. I'm submitting that to Sundress Publications. And then so basically with everything that I've been going through, like, I've always loved writing, and I knew that I was going to write a novel outside of the one that I've already started to write, which that's its own story. But I'm writing a novel right now and I'm taking it very seriously, and I want to talk to you guys about it, but I also don't, because I don't want nobody to steal my ideas. But I want to just express, especially as a creative, you guys, it starts with you. It quite literally starts with you. Like, especially as a Virgo, for me, I'm always thinking that things have to be perfect. I'm always thinking that, like, I have to have the right notebook, I have to have the right pen, I have to have the right setup. I'm sitting on a fucking floor right now, like on a concrete slab, my nigga. I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it because I have to, because this matters to me. So, like, especially for the people that are watching this, not only writers but creatives. I just recently bought The Art of Creativity from Julia Cameron, and when I say this is my artist date book, or my day book, morning pages, because there's a couple different like components that she wants you to add to it. One of them is an artist workbook. That one I'm gonna buy off of Amazon. Also, if you live in New York City and you're in the Bronx area, go to Nefer Bookstore. It's on 214th Street. Beautiful. It's where I got my copy of The Artist Way. Anyway, yeah, that's the book. I'm gonna link that in the description as well. I'm not getting any sort of promotion or sponsorship from any of this shit. I'm just telling you, from a creative to another creative, from a creative to another person, I want you to invest in yourself, and it takes $20. Purchase the book, read it. In the very beginning, she's going to tell you to get a new notebook and to dedicate that to your morning pages. Now, she's going to harp for about 5 pages about how important it is for you to write 3 pages. I'm a writer, so that is not hard for me. But what I'm saying is, just do it. Just get up in the morning, just start writing. Just start writing, because it's like, the moment you let those ideas get out on the page, shit starts happening. And that's the point. That's the point, because a lot of us are being creatively blocked right now, especially with everything going on right now. And it just takes sitting down, opening a book, sitting in nature. It's almost 70 degrees right now. Anyway, I'm writing a book right now. It's going to be a trilogy. That's fucking insane to say. But I was just taking my daughter through Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was like, baby, listen, when I was younger, I always wanted my books to be in the bookstore. I always imagined that they would be, and one day they're going to be. So this is me telling you my dream, encouraging you to go for yours. Well, that was that. Thank you for joining me. Please allow the conversation to go on. Comment below. Tell me what kind of music you were listening to when you graduated high school. When did you graduate high school? Where are you currently when you're listening to this, watching this? Is this background noise for you? Are you actually looking at me currently? Okay. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for staying subscribed. If you have been subscribed for this long, comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'll see you later.